In the famous words of Queen, another one bites the dust. Celsius Network, the people's choice when it came to storing your crypto for a decent yield, has just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This comes shortly after two other major players, Voyager Digital and Three Arrows Capital, which is a hedge fund, also filed for bankruptcy. But what does this mean for depositors and investors who put their money into Celsius to earn yield on their cryptocurrency? Well, it's a great question, and it's actually one that I'm asking myself, as I still have some funds in Celsius that I truly hope I may one day see again, although given this news, it seems quite unlikely. Keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. This is purely my opinion on the Celsius situation. Now, I gotta say, I'm thankful and a bit lucky because I was able to get most of, but unfortunately not all of, my crypto funds out of Celsius just about 20 hours before the company announced they'd be freezing withdrawals, transfers, and swaps back on their platform almost exactly 1 month ago on June 12th. You can see right here that I actually announced this to my private membership group, letting them know that I was worried about the state of Celsius and how there were several reports of Celsius not disclosing the risk of some of their investments. These investments that Celsius was making was to earn even more yield so that they could actually pay out the yield that they promised to all their depositing community. That being said, hopefully that alert helped the people in my private group avoid this catastrophe as well. The truth is, with alerts like that, I can't get videos up fast enough to warn you guys about real-time events that are happening. So if you want to receive those real-time alerts that I just cannot get up here on YouTube quickly enough, you should consider joining my group down below, link down in the description or card right up here. As I highlighted in the post, I think it's critically important, especially in these rough markets and these ridiculously tough times, to be taking as much risk off the table as you can. After I rode Luna from $80,000 all the way to zero, I am not inclined to make the same mistake twice. I also warned my private group that I was removing all of my crypto assets off of exchanges and into cold storage via a hardware wallet, which at this point may be the only spot you can have full control over your own coins. Even top exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, or FTX may or may not be safe. We just don't know, so why take the risk? The truth is, the only risk you should be taking right now is absolutely smashing that like button. Sometimes it feels pretty good, and in my opinion, that's a risk worth taking. For those of us who still have funds in Celsius, what can we expect? Nobody really knows just yet, but if we look at Voyager and their situation, which is another crypto exchange, they have also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And the lawyers that are advising Voyager on their case are actually now the same lawyers that are working with Celsius for their restructuring plan in their Chapter 11 filing. So with that being said, it's possible that Celsius depositors could see a similar outcome to what we expect to see with the Voyager case. And at the moment, what we've heard and what we know is that depositors could see a small percentage of their initial funds back, but this could likely take a long time, and it might even be years before anything comes to fruition. In Celsius's official statement, they say that Celsius has $167 million in cash on hand, which will provide ample liquidity to support certain operations during the restructuring process. And to ensure a smooth transition into Chapter 11, Celsius has filed with the court a series of customary motions to allow the company to operate on the normal course. Some of these first day motions include requests to pay employees and continue their benefits without disruption. So in other words, Celsius still has ample funds to run the business for the time being, and they seem to want to restructure their business in a way that they can proceed into the future without having to fully close down Celsius as we know it. But truthfully, none of that really matters to us because we want to know what the heck is going to happen with our funds. Are we ever going to see the money again that we put into Celsius to earn that juicy yield that is now still earning yield? I have no idea why. Regarding customer withdrawals, which is, again, what we really want to know about here, the statement says that Celsius is not requesting authority from the court to allow customer withdrawals at this time. Customer claims will be addressed through the Chapter 11 process. So basically, we're going to have to wait to see how the court orders them to proceed. One potential solution could be to allow a limited amount of customer withdrawals per month or per quarter, but even this is tough to assess since since the price of crypto fluctuates a bunch day to day, and that obviously impacts the balance sheet of Celsius. So the best case scenario is that the traditional markets and the crypto markets see a relief rally of some sort where the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum go up enough so that Celsius has some breathing room while they figure things out. We can hope that the court sees the situation for what it is and recognizes that all of the people that deposited money into Celsius, like myself, like maybe you did, hopefully get their funds back first before any other money is distributed in this restructuring process. And you gotta believe if the prices of crypto have a relief rally and go a bit higher, then maybe their assets will be worth just a bit more and enough to cover at least some customer withdrawals or a portion of each person's funds. But again, this is all my personal take and speculation, and who knows what will actually happen. As bad of a situation as this is, I think there are some key takeaways. Number one, there is almost nothing that is risk-free, especially if it's paying you a handsome yield. We saw Luna paying a 20% APY to depositors on the Anchor Finance protocol, and you obviously saw what happened there. It went to literally zero. And now we're seeing Celsius, who had rates between 6% and 12% at sometimes, also go insolvent and now file for bankruptcy. Key takeaway number two, make sure you understand what you are getting into whenever you store or invest your money anywhere. Even I was not fully aware of the potential risks of Luna and Celsius when I first invested. The seemingly small risk factor that did exist with both of these, and keep in mind, these had massive market caps, so they were big projects. Some of my thought process was these might be too big to fail. There's so many people putting so much money in that there's no way they could possibly collapse to zero. But the truth is that when things get ugly, there is a much more significant risk when there is an incredible amount of leverage and euphoria during the bull run that ultimately crashes down to reality when the bear market hits, and that kind of crash can actually take some things like Luna and Celsius and Voyager as well to zero. Takeaway number three, always take profits aggressively. When you're up, don't be greedy. You'll never go broke taking profits.